Getting timely funding fast can be important to a small business. If your small business is looking for an alternative source of funding, you might consider national funding, and my review of national funding is going to help you make that decision. This review is sponsored by FinImpact.com. FinImpact.com has great information about lending sources, and their content should be on your must-read list if you're looking for a small business loan or any other kind of funding solutions that can help your business. This review will tell you a little bit about national funding. It'll tell you about the kinds of loans they offer and about their products, their strengths, their weaknesses, what it's like to apply for and get funded by national funding, and what their past customers have had to say about working with them. National Funding is a top-rated small business lender. They have a lot of options, but they offer them within a narrow scope. This gives them strength and speed and agility to get funding to you fast, but it comes at a cost. We'll cover that. National Funding small business loans target industries like trucking, agriculture, restaurants, or construction. They help minorities, women, and veterans find funding with lenders. They also partner with different lenders who have alternatives. National Funding's greatest strength is their speed and agility in helping you get a loan. Some loans can be funded in as quick as 24 hours. That's pretty great, but as I mentioned, it comes at a cost. These loans, although they don't require collateral, do carry a pretty hefty interest rate. So you'd have to choose a loan from national funding if it really met your business needs and opportunities. For many people, it could be worth it because it allows them to get an opportunity that they wouldn't otherwise be able to take advantage of. National Funding has a lot of satisfied customers. The small businesses that take advantage of National Funding's offers have also usually found ways to be very satisfied and get what they needed from the loan. You'll have to make sure that it works for you and your business. Consider, a loan from National Funding typically carries an interest rate of between 17 and 36%. Now, they don't actually publicize their interest rates because they don't use an interest rate scheme for repayment. They charge based on a factor model, and that charge is levied all up front. So if you receive a loan from them for a certain amount, say $50,000, then you'll immediately be given a repayment schedule for the $50,000 plus a factor added on. If in fact you're going to pay that loan back quickly, well, then you'd have to make sure that the annual rate of interest really does work for you. The two kinds of loans that National Funding specializes in are small business loans and equipment financing. The small business loans carry a term length of anywhere from 4 months to 2 years. The repayment period is either weekly or daily. The amount you can borrow will be anywhere from $5,000 to $500,000. Now keep in mind, if you're going to be making payments every day, you better have money in the account to cover that. When it comes to equipment leasing and financing, the term length can be anywhere from 2 to 5 years. This loan is paid back monthly. You can get up to $150,000 for this purpose. You need to have a minimum credit score of 600 or better, whether that's personal or business credit score. This is one of the ways National Funding manages to make their money available so quickly and keep their application process streamlined. They simply lend to people with better credit. There are other lenders that will offer loans to lower credit situations, but National Funding assumes they'll work just with quality businesses and they'll give them quality service. Let me walk you through the process of applying for a loan with National Funding. It's actually very simple to do. You can do it right on your phone. Here are some of the screens I've captured to help you see just how simple applying for a loan is. The application gathers basic information about your business, its location, and its contact information. This serves as a simple pre-qualification form. Once the pre-qualification form is complete, the application will ask you to add business bank statements. the last 3 months of your business bank statements in PDF form, and you can easily upload them right on your phone. Both the web-based and the mobile application make it very easy to capture your information and submit it. Once you've done so, the application lets you know specifically the name of the funding specialist that will contact you during business hours. It's a nice touch at the end of the application, and the whole process goes very quick, 5 to 10 minutes. The application does a soft credit pull. Now, you might not know the difference between a soft or a hard credit pull. Let me give you a quick tip on that. A soft credit pull, as explained by thebalance.com, does not affect your credit score. It's actually a mechanism that banks use for pre-qualification. They simply look over information. In fact, they don't even have to ask your permission to do that because, in theory, it's not going to affect your credit. A hard credit pull means that inquiry is actually going to go onto your credit record, and that will affect your credit score over time. To qualify for a loan from National Funding, you have to have a 600 credit score, but if your credit score is higher, you might have a lower interest rate. To qualify, you'll also need an annual income of $100,000 and at least $1,500 in your business bank account. Your business will also have to be generating over $250,000 in sales. And beware, a bankruptcy on your credit record will disqualify you. Let's look at what some of National Funding's customers had to say about going through the process and getting funded by National Funding. There are over 1,500 reviews on Trustpilot, so we've got a lot of customers that we can hear from. In fact, National Funding's record on Trustpilot is rather impressive. 86% of customers rate their experience with National Funding to be excellent. Only 4% of customers rated their experience to be bad. I looked close at some of those who considered their experience bad and reviewed it that way, and there wasn't a common single theme. There was a lot of little this and that kinds of things. Oftentimes, it was the case that the loan wasn't accepted or was having trouble being accepted because the applicant didn't have enough of what they needed. But there was one important example that I'd like to show you. This customer complained that they didn't understand the repayment mechanism, or at least how their interest and fees were going to be calculated. They didn't realize it was going to be an upfront type of thing. Somehow they got the impression that the interest rate was going to be much lower than effectively it would be. It's very important that you get a clear understanding of the fees and how much you're going to have to pay back right from the beginning in order to be comfortable taking this loan. On the positive side, those who gave excellent or great scores in their reviews often mentioned their customer service representative by name. They really liked working with the people. So you get the idea that National Funding's pretty good with their customer service for most customers. Now be aware that most people that have a great experience with National Funding and are satisfied with it, they've done so because they are paying for the convenience. There might be other lenders that can give you better rates, but it depends on your circumstances, and you may not have time to shop around. If you've got good credit and you know you have a great opportunity and you need to get the money fast, National Funding is probably a good lender to consider. For more information, check out the full review on finimpact.com.